They earn 100K, but are forced to live in a tent. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee. Let's check out this article discussing, well, a couple that are earning $100,000, but they have to live in a tent. Now, there's actually someone in my street, a few houses up, a neighbor who is, has, I think, her sister living in a tent in the side of her house. We had Rachel's dad, my father-in-law, living with us in his caravan for many years. Now, this caravan wasn't a nice caravan. If you've ever played Grand Theft Auto with the crazy character, it was one of those caravans. So let's have a look. I'm glad it's gone. It's increased the value of my property in the street. Anyway, we make $100,000, but have to live in a tent because we can't afford anywhere to rent. It's so cold at night, we had to send our kids to live with relatives, and there's no end in sight. Well, why don't they move in with the relatives? I'm just saying, I mean, if you've got a family member that's forced to live like that, why don't you let them put a tent up in your yard? Let's keep going. So, a hard-working couple have revealed the devastating reality of the country's rental crisis after becoming homeless, being forced to live in a tent, and having no choice but to send their kids away. Jen and her husband, both 30, earn a healthy combined income of $100,000, but it isn't enough to keep a roof over their heads or their family together. The parents from the Gold Coast, told female, I'm assuming that's the outlet or whatever this article's from. It's from the Daily Mail, but whatever. They'd applied for 70 properties in the city and nearby Tweed Heads over the last 4 months without success. So they're down the southern end of the Gold Coast. I mean, it's getting really expensive. I know someone who's got a property they're renting for nearly a little three-bedder. Ensuite bathroom, double-car garage. Down the southern end of the Gold Coast. Nearly $800 a week. I thought maybe we should jump on to realestate.com and have a look at some properties on the Gold Coast, but I think that might scare me if I do it, to be honest. We aren't the only people we know in this situation. The massive influx of people to the region has made getting a rental impossible, she said. This crisis isn't just in Sydney, it's really bad here on the Gold Coast too. People need to know that. The couple have had to send their 11-year-old son and 6-year-old to live with relatives hours away because they don't want to expose them to life on the street. I mean, they've got a nice tent. It's just camping. Where are they camping, though? Oh, yeah. It shows she's in support work training to become a nurse. The dad is 30, is a tradie. We don't know when we'll be able to see them again. They cry when we call them because they miss us. It's heartbreaking. It's already been a month, which feels like eternity for the kids who've never spent more than a night or two away from their doting mum and dad. They were initially displaced when their long-term rentals sold. Unfortunately, the buyers weren't investors, so we had to move. Now, this is an interesting little line here, guys. You've got the Greens, and I just read about their budget and everything, and more articles all about calling for rent caps, capping rent, intervention. That will piss off the investors. They'll get out of the market, and you'll have this problem, just like in Ireland. Okay? That's the problem. And I mean, this is why people do whatever they can to get into a house, because they don't want to be in this situation. Or if you're camping, you might as well camp on your own block. They struggled to secure a new home, so signed a 3-month lease on a short-term rental, hoping that would give them enough time to get sorted. But it wasn't. And when the lease was up, the owners needed the tiny 2-bedroom flat back. We couldn't get another rental, so we had no choice but to camp. They applied for 70 homes, including a 2-bedroom apartment to no avail. This apartment was listed at $460 per week last month. The previous tenants were paying just $285. Yeah, it's supply and demand. You couldn't even build this now. Okay? The way this is built, the energy efficiency requirements, all of the owners' accessibility requirements, you couldn't even build this now. There you go. Damn. Duplex was listed for $590 a week. It was taken off the market within a week. Yeah, people probably offered more. The couple's $500 a week budget won't get them much now. Prices have gone up. But they're even being knocked back on 1 and 2 bedroom places. Most of the time you don't hear back or have to call them constantly for an answer. Realtors have told her many homes already have approved tenants before the open houses even take place. It's frustrating and feels like a waste of time. Sometimes there are 30 or 40 people there. Jen, who is a support worker and studying nursing full-time, says she can't afford to offer more on the properties. We can afford more than that right now, but I have to do my 1,000-hour placement soon, so we'll be down to 1 income, she said. You can't work and do the placement. She and her tradesman partner still can't believe they are homeless. It's unbelievable the government lets this happen. Why does everyone think the government lets this happen? The government caused it. They didn't let it happen. The whole bunch of people fleeing Victoria because to get out of Danistan, that's had an impact on the Gold Coast. Don't kid yourself that it hasn't. But there's going to be no mention of that, is there? And I shouldn't talk. That's how my family ended up. We got out of Victoria, during the recession. I think the recession Australia had to have. That's when we came up. We used to holiday to Queensland 3 times a year. Finally moved. That's right. I'm an evil Mexican. Barrack for Collingwood. Forgive me, viewers. They play their AFL different up here. It's like they carry the ball and run into each other. It was funny playing rugby the first time at primary school because it didn't exist in Victoria. No one knew what it was then. It was all AFL, like mad. Anyway, I'm completely going off topic. We've both worked hard, paid taxes, and done the right things in life, she said. We don't smoke, drink, gamble, or take drugs. We just want to raise well-mannered children in a happy home, and we can't even do that. They have to buy the tent and other gear when they found themselves living on the street, as they aren't campers, and have had to be very discreet, as they aren't supposed to live on site. We thought it would just be for a few days or a week, but we're still here, she said. The couple shiver through the nights, then have to get up at first light because the tents get too hot. They charge their phones at work and have even used their cars to shield their tents from the elements. It stormed the first 8 days we were here. It was wet and gross. When the cold front moved up from the coast, they froze. We didn't realize it was going to be so cold, and it was so windy that night. Like a cyclone. I googled it and winds were 35 kilometers. We parked our cars in front of the tent as a windbreak. Yeah, that's camping. It's fun. People like camping. I want to go again. It's been too long since I've taken the kids. This home was listed for $590s, but agents accepted an offer over $700. There you go. This is supply and demand. This is not going to get any easier. There's not going to be a quick fix. The first week we didn't communicate properly, and the esky went without ice. All our meat went off, so we didn't have cold food storage anymore. The couple are hoping to end their nightmare soon. I feel like I spent all my time at the university trying to find us a home. According to CoreLogic data, prices of rentals have exploded in the couple's chosen area. Well, then they've got to choose somewhere else. Just drive a bit longer to do your training or that type of stuff. Why not? 1 and 2 bedroom apartments they applied for was listed for $460, previously $285. The data suggested even less desirable properties are being snapped up quickly. The unit had been on the market for almost 6 months before it was rented out for the lower price. This time, it was listed in weeks. The median cost of a 2-bedroom property in Tweed Heads is $669, while median rent sits at $600 per week. They aren't allowed to live at their camp. I thought they'd be in and out in a week. Why aren't they allowed to live at their camp? Where are they? Isn't that the whole point? The median rental price for a 3-bedroom place in Tweed Heads is $790 per week. Yeah, they've got to move out of Tweed Heads. It seems to be going nuts down there. Go further north. Go to Helensvale. Okay? further north, inland, away from the beach, the less trendy areas. Get yourself a little house there. You know what? Maybe we will bring it up. Realestate.com. Let's jump over here. Queensland. Okay, what do we want to look at? What do we want to look at? Queensland. I don't want to property type. What do we want? We want to rent. We'll just search in Queensland. We'll just bring up the map. How do I get the map? How do I get the map? Here we go. We get the map. What are we looking at? We'll filter all types. Oh, we'll go 2-bed min. Okay? 2-bed minimum. Let's have a look here. This is probably going to be real depressing. So they're looking Tweed Heads around here. Now this is really close to the beach, a nice area. What are we looking at here? $730. Oh shit. $660. $1,200. Oh no. I knew I shouldn't have done this. $890. $695. What about Currumbin? $800. $800 for a duplex. Oh shit. $800, guys, a week, $800. I mean, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Perfectly good little duplex. $800. Shit, if you've got a house there and you're living, move into a tent in your backyard and rent the damn thing out. Hashtag not legal advice or financial advice. Don't listen to YouTubers. $1,000 a week. Oh, it's 50. It's Palm Ave. Palm Beach. Hey, the Palmy Army, $1,000 a week. 1, 2, 3 bedrooms. Can you put a little wall there, turn that into a bedroom, put a little wall there, turn that into a bedroom, turn it into a 5-bedroom place. There we go. It has a pool. Anyway, come on, let's okay. Tweed is out of their price range. Let's filter it and let's say price is max 500. Oh, shit. Oh, what do they got here? $495, a 2-bedroom bath unit. In Coolangatta, $500. Oh no, what do they got here? $500 for a little one. Come on, let's go further out. Let's have a look at. Okay, you go up here. Let's see Varsity Lakes, where I grew up. Shit, nothing in that price range. Wow, that's gone crazy. I don't really want to look at the prices there. Wait a minute, is this? Shit. Surface is the next. What about Merrimack or Highland Park? 2-bed min. You go up to Southport, $500. Southport, $550 a week. What about Ashmore? $480. $480. Oxenford, $490. You might as well go up to Logan then. You're going up past Yatla. So you're looking at an hour drive. Maybe go to Bow Desert. It'll be faster on the highway. Shit. Well, let's get rid of this filter. Any. Oh, you know what? Let's see. What studios we can get. Oh boy, 1 bed, 1 bath, and Benoa for $490. Like, is that an aged care community or something? Wow. So, okay, let's go any. Let's up to 600. Okay. You're going out at Narang there, $550 for a 2-bed place. Merrimack, $600. Shit. Varsity Lakes, $480. There we go. 1 bed, 1 bath. Burley Heads, 1 bed, 1 bath, no car park, $375. This is, what about Currumbin Waters here? Currumbin Waters, $590 on the No Lagoon side. Oh boy, come on, let's, Helensvale, that's meant to be cheaper, isn't it? There's Reedy Creek. We go up along the highway here. Keep going, go up the highway. There's Merrimack. Keep going, Wrongery, yep. Where's all Pacific Motorway, Parkwood, Pacific Pines, Studio Village, Helensvale. Here we go. $600. $530. $530. So this isn't even in the price range. $530 in Helensvale, probably be a 40-minute to an hour drive to where they want to get. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. My mother lives in a little place like that. She's downsized. But, shit, to $530. Okay, let's jump back to this article, guys, because this is depressed the hell out of me. Maybe they got to move to Brisbane. Or to Logan and commute down. Haven't we got a funny world? People used to commute up from the Gold Coast. The Housing Industry Association predicts rental costs, which have already grown or already grew by 17.6% for units and 14.6% in capital cities last year, could now climb higher, still as supply fails to keep pace with demand. And we've got the construction apocalypse, guys. Now think about this. Whenever anyone tells you housing is about to crash, you know, the flames, the blaring alarms, the fear, look at the returns you're getting on these things right now. Okay? Nationally, residential vacancy rate is 1.1%, the same figure as Melbourne and Hobart, while it's 1.3% in Sydney and a crushing 0.5% in Adelaide. The return of migrants, students and tourists to Australia could mean vacancy rates will worsen. No, they will worsen. It's going to be additional pressure on the sector and we can't meet the demand. And you cannot have a sensible and mature discussion about migrant rates into Australia because the idiots and lefties are, oh, it's racism. It's complete bullshit. We're a multicultural society. You'll have people from every bloody ethnicity being critical about the impact that this is having on the lives of their children. It doesn't matter anymore. It's not a whole race thing anymore. That's such an old-fashioned, out-of-date way of thinking. We're all pissed off at houses costing this much. Okay? Bloody hell. And guys, don't mistake it when I'm saying I don't think housing will crash as me being a property spruiker. I'm just looking at reality and going, it's stacked against it. This imbalance will see the affordability and rental crisis deteriorate further, said Tom Divitt, HIA senior economist. Tips for securing a rental. Pay as much as you can up front, i.e. 3 months. My understanding that wasn't allowed. I thought you couldn't do that. I mean, we did. We paid 6 months up front. I spoke to a lawyer about that and he said that the risk is, what if the property gets destroyed? Then you've got no recourse to get that money back or you'd have to fight for it back. So there's a risk involved there. Personalize the application. You've got to make an application. Make sure the application's completely filled out. Oh, boy. New South Wales Tenants Union CEO Leo Patterson-Ross told the Daily Mail Australia, the pressure was on the government to deliver much-needed good news to renters in the... Nah. Okay, that's not happening. That's not happening. Shit. Let's jump back here and have a look at I grew up on the Gold Coast, guys. I went to school down in Burleigh primary school, and I went to Miami. And it's just gone nuts. It's just gone nuts. These are crazy prices. You know what? Should we look at? Should we go back and look at buying Queensland? Let's see what. This will probably scare me even more. We haven't done this for a while. I used to do live streams where we'd try and find affordable houses. We'll go down the Gold Coast. What do we want? Start a house. Established. What do we want? Where's the bedrooms? Minimum. We'll go 3 bedrooms. Start a house. Boom. Let's have a look at what's stuff costing around here. We're going to get something other than houses. Contact agent. Well, no, I want a price. 950 grand. Okay. Well, no, let's put a price on here. Let's say $500,000. Manageable mortgage, 55. Oi. Here you go. Tweed heads west. House for sale, 399,000. What's the catch? Is it in a caravan? It looks like it is. Lifestyle village, perfect for over 50s, so useless. So let's zoom out. That's a lot for one of those things. Expression of interest. Currumbin Waters. Nope, I want a price. Reedy Creek. Offers over 590. 550. Reedy Creek in a townhouse. Is it retirement village? Open home cancelled. Gardens Estate. I mean, yeah, it's time. But if we're looking at, what do we, Commonwealth. Let's look at the home loan calculator. Bank home loan repayment calculator. So, yeah, anyway. They own, 100 grand? 2 of us. 50. I don't know, $1,000. No, I don't want to chat. 000. Let's calculate. Okay, so they would be $1,000 a month, $481,000. So if we jump back to here, and I know that's wrong, what I've put in there, we'll say 450. So they get a bit of a deposit. Let's see what they can get here. Let's change the bedrooms to 1. Oh no, 2. You need 2 at least as a starter home. So yeah, it's not looking very good, is it? The options. It's in these gated bloody communities, lifestyle village. It's useless for someone starting out. Yeah, maybe I should start doing some of these streams again. But the problem is I'm on 4G right now. So anyway, guys, let's have a talk about this before I depress myself even more. I don't know what to say. They're screwed. They need to increase their income, or they need to move further out. They need to look at Logan, further out, much further out, and commuting in. Or get a 1 better. Try and live in that with kids. This is the problem when supply doesn't meet demand. It's just going to get worse with population growth predicted to increase. And you've got to remember why we had so many people move to Queensland. I spoke to someone today after church. He and his wife moved with their kids up to Brisbane, got out of Victoria. There you go. I mean, there's no easy fix to this, guys. I think people are just going to start moving away from the Gold Coast. I mean, even if you've got a trade, if you're trying to study there, you got to transfer to another university, another city, where you can actually get somewhere to live, so you're not living in a tent. That's what people will do. Hey, there's no reason he couldn't move up to Logan. Fine, there's more options there, more in Brisbane. Live there, drive down. So you could transfer to one of the other universities in Brisbane to study. I know it's not easy. I know it's a pain in the ass. So is living in a tent. Kind of sucks. We need to make it easier for people to build. We need to make it easier for supply to hit the market. I don't think it's going to happen. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one. This one's got me upset. Check out HeiseBim and Heise Does for other videos I discuss. And if you want to support us, you can on YouTube or Patreon. Use our referral links, buy our pocket squares, or call us if you need an architect. Take care, everyone. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next episode of HeiseSays. Bye for now.